Oh, well, first of all, we're not releasing them verbally outside. We're releasing them mentally inside.
Ah, good.
Sorry, I should have clarified that.
That's fine.
So you're picking them up. You're actually picking them up similar to the way you pick up the mantra, except with the mantra you continue with a repetition.
Yes.
With Samyama, you pick up the sutra one time and let it go. And this letting go is just being easy. If thoughts come, fine. If the sutra keeps coming back, that's fine. Whatever. You just let it go. And this letting go is really the essence of Samyama. In fact, it's the essence of enlightenment, because we're developing a habit of having an intention, the sutra in this case, and letting it go. And when you let it go, that intention is released in whatever degree of stillness we have established in our nervous system. And I should emphasize that the stillness we have cultivated in our nervous system from deep meditation is really where the effectiveness of Samyama practice comes from.
Yes.
So if someone just picks up the Samyama book and decides, well, I'm going to start doing Samyama without learning meditation, it may work a little bit. Depends on what the person's native awareness is. But it really relies on the presence of that inner witness, that silence. And in fact, eventually we'll be talking about self-inquiry in a future interview. And inner silence is also the prerequisite for effective self-inquiry also, which is an important piece that's missing out of a lot of self-inquiry teachings that are out there today. It's sort of a hot area, self-inquiry. So this Samyama technique we're talking about cultivates our ability to let go intentions and stillness, and then from there it all happens.
Okay, so without the inner silence from the meditation and the breath work, Samyama cannot occur. You must do this in order to be able to reach that other place.
Well, we do the Samyama practice after meditation because that gives you the best leg up for doing the practice, daily. But then when you go out into activity, just the way we carry inner silence out into activity during the day, and that witnessing quality, we also carry out this sort of ability to have an intention and let go. We carry that out into our everyday activity also. So it's not that doing Samyama after meditation is the only time we're ever going to be doing Samyama, because what happens is, like stillness showing up in our daily activity, our ability to be able to be more at ease with our intentions and letting them go in stillness, also we bring that out into daily activity. It's well known that people who have made great discoveries or artists who are creating, often the greatest creative energies come when the artist or the scientist or whoever it is resting, not thinking about anything in particular. They have released their intention into stillness. So this is a very fundamental principle of human living that has always been around, it's always been present, and it's well recognized that creativity comes out of stillness. Samyama is just a systematic way of cultivating that and increasing that ability in everyday life.
Is it also purifying everything within us?
It's purifying everything within us, and it's also purifying everything around us.
Ah, nice.
Because, as it says in the title of the book, we're cultivating stillness in action. And stillness in action is this influence of stillness moving not only through our nervous system and purifying us, but also beyond our body, radiating out into our environment. And this is a very important quality of Samyama. So we're not only cultivating the ability to live our own personal life more harmoniously and more happily and better, but we're also cultivating stillness everywhere around us. In fact, we could even say globally, particularly when people are doing this practice together. And we talked about that last time, that in AYP we have weekly global group meditations and Samyama sessions. And so there's a strategy there that looks beyond the individual to the entire world.
Yes.
And so we're moving stillness everywhere.
Very good. Can we have too much of a good thing? Are there any negative effects of Samyama?
Well, if we're overdoing in our nervous system, if we haven't sort of fine-tuned our practice to what our nervous system can handle, there can be some overdoing, there can be some discomfort. This is true of all yoga practices. So an important part of the teaching, and a really key part of everything we do in AYP, because we're working with real people all the time, is what we call self-pacing. So yes, you can overdo with Samyama. Some people may be sensitive to the practice, and perhaps they should just be doing one repetition of the sutras instead of two.
Yes.
Very often, if people get up too quickly after the practice, there can be some roughness in activity. So it's good to rest at the end of practice, which is part of the practice, to rest at the end. And so, but as far as there being a danger, like a sorcerer's apprentice kind of danger, where you're wanting to, cultivate magical powers, and the broom ends up chasing you all around the place. No, that is not a problem with Samyama. You're not dealing with runaway brooms and things like that.
Oh, too bad.
Because what we're doing is, as I said before, we're cultivating that deepest level of harmony and goodness that's within us. There is a question that comes up quite often, and I don't know if you had planned to ask it or not, and that's can Samyama be used for developing powers that are not in the best interest of the individual or the society? And the answer to that is, if you're doing Samyama correctly, that is not possible to do that, because I call Samyama morally self-regulating. Because if you think about it, where does morality come from? It doesn't come from outside. It doesn't come from the people telling us what's good behavior and what's bad behavior. Morality comes from within us, and the deeper we go within ourselves, the more naturally harmonious and evolutionary and highest morality comes from within us. So correct practice of Samyama creates only positive results, even if we have a negative intention on the level of our ego. Like if we would want to hurt someone or something.
Yes.
It just will not happen practicing Samyama. Now, that's opposed to people who work on external levels of the mind and in the subconscious and so forth, deliberately trying to create negative influences on other people. That's something completely different. It's got nothing to do with Samyama whatsoever. You could call it the black arts or witchcraft or whatever you want to call it, but that's got nothing to do with Samyama. Samyama is about going much deeper than that, to the level of all love and creativity and harmony. So I often get that question, so I thought I'd answer it.
Now, with the practice and with the Siddhis, is it possible for a student to actually cultivate a Siddhi, or when through the practice do the Siddhis arrive and they have nothing to do with what we want or what we're trying to achieve? It depends on what specific abilities the individual has.